Yeah, so I want to make a little bit more of a beginner series for YouTube where I just talk about like the basic, like getting started, make like a whole playlist of things. And I think Hobby Knives is a very, very good starting point because it's pretty much one of the three things you need to get started. Really, if you're, like just starting in miniatures, you need miniatures, and then it's hobby knife, clippers, and glue, and that will kind of get you started. But hobby knives are kind of not created equal, really. So there's a couple of like specific things I thought was a perfect like get started because that's pretty much like the easiest one, right? If you're a baller on a budget, can only get one of the things with your precious minis, you get a hobby knife. And so there are various kinds, and this is here, this guy here, this is the Excel, whatever actually, is pretty much the standard set, right? Like it's just a classic little hobby knife with a little safety cap on. I can't remove for some reason. There we go. And then you got the blade, and these things are like a $3 like at most, right? And they're pretty much a bread and butter. They're the basic function. They're what you need. So again, you have the safety caps for like safety reasons and stuff, and for removing mold lines. When you get like the new kits, you want to remove that line that goes straight through the mold. You can actually use the back, and you can clip the little leftover parts from your assembly with the blade. So this guy here does a little bit of everything. This is, again, the most basic version ever. And the one thing that's kind of important maybe that you need to know is this blade here, the one that's on there, is called a number 11 blade. That's right. Super sexy and technical. But number 11 blades is kind of the default or the standard. Like a standard X-Acto blade or standard hobby knife blade, number 11. Good old trusty number 11. And now I got this one here. Now this is like your run-of-the-mill like hobby knife. Again, $1. And these are the retractable one. This is garbage. Okay, you don't want this. I have this one because I use it for boxes at the store. I don't. It's not a modeling thing. Maybe I would use it for foam, like if I was making terrain or something. But that's it. The reason, first of all, like this is like super large, right? Like in terms of like the blade size, it is super large, and that is not practical at all. We're dealing with like small miniatures and getting this blade into the small parts of the spruce sometimes. So having the big one, not great. The other thing that why it's not great is because, again, we're dealing with fine detail, and these blades, they move. This is not good. Okay, this not good. So and especially because like this is, again, $2, $3, or what. Same thing for this one. So you're not like saving money or anything on this. It's just trash. Okay, so that's not like one of the corners that you can cut. Cutting a corner is buying this one instead of maybe a fancier one, which we'll kind of get to. And now once you've admitted to yourself that this is trash and it belongs in not in your hobby thing, in some other stuff. Because it's good for some other things, right? Just not the hobby. So you have to decide. Do you want to go basic or do you want to get like a bigger one? So there's really only a couple of factors that you need to look into once you get like kind of the standard stuff. So the first one is the handle, and there are two really specific things. One of them is cushion, right? So like this is like hardcore aluminum, steel, whatever. So it's not maybe like not the most like comfortable. So if you have like fragile little fancy hands, good on you. And then you want like a cushion one. So there's a bunch of ones with like rubbers. There's some that are like pencil shaped and stuff. So you might want to get that and maybe pay a little extra to get like a cushion one. The other one is the different shape. This one is round, and round has the nasty tendency to roll off stuff, right? So if you can't help yourself but catch things when they fall, or if you're clumsy like me, round is not always great because they tend to roll, and then you try to smartly catch it with your foot, and then lo and behold, you catch the blade with your foot. Yeah. This one here is kind of good. It's the Games Workshop one, but it's also flat. It does not roll around. This is the main thing, the only thing maybe I like about the Games Workshop one, because otherwise it's the same thing, right? It's got the safety cap. It's got the trusty blade number 11s. Oh, this one has another feature. I I lied. So again, this one here, I like it because it's flat and it's got a little bit of a curve here. So if you hold it like a pencil, some people prefer that. I use mine like a, I don't know, like a big broad tool, like a hammer, I guess. But some people hold them like this, and so it's got the little feature. And this one also has the little feature at the end there where you can put your finger right up on the blade without having to use it, which I like. I think this little feature here is very interesting. But other than that, there's not a whole lot of reasons to pay extra for this. But again, I like the fact that it's not rolling around. The reason I keep this one, is because it does not roll, so I can leave it on my desk and I don't have to worry about like stabbing myself in the foot because of my own devices. And the third, one other aspect that you can look, I don't have one here, is again with the number 11 blade, but retractable. Some of them exist, so we're kind of like getting a little bit into the, like the middle ground here of like what we don't like with this one is because it's got the big ass blade that's like not practical because it moves a lot. And then we're kind of removing this little safety cap thing, which, by the way, miracle that I still have both of these on because I lose them all the time. But, maybe you're not, like, as hairhead as me and you don't lose yours, but I do. That's just me. So the retractable one, and then the last thing, again, I don't have this one because I don't use that really because I think these little blades are great, is an actual scalpel. Scalpel blades are very, very, very cheap, even more so than this, and they serve as the same kind of function, if you will. They're like super sharp, and they're also very like small, so they handle the fine detail very well. So you kind of get a good mix with that. I know a lot of hobbyists, they like it. I think for the softer plastic, they're actually better. I didn't dig into this too much. But for the softer plastic, like the Dungeons and Dragons minis, where they're like super small, I think scalpel blades are the preferred choice. Again, it's not something I use, but I've seen it around, and you need to make sure that your hobby knife has the scalpel thing, which these ones are kind of like an insert, if you will. Or these ones you just like kind of push into the thing, right? This is the blade. Scalpel ones, you need to use this little thingy on there, so it like clips usually. Yeah, so that was kind of my introduction video on the starter series, so hopefully you guys like it, and we'll do more of this. But yeah, hobby knives are great, and it's definitely a top 3 purchase, and lucky for us, they don't cost a lot of money, so you have no reason to really, no reason to keep this around. You get yourself a small one, and these comes in all color too. You don't like blue? No problem. Got purple, got green, got orange, all of them colors.